Number systems. In your earlier classes, you have studied about number line and how to represent various types of numbers on it. Let us do a quick recap of those numbers. First numbers which you came across were natural numbers. As we know, we use 1, 2, 3 and so on when we begin counting. So these numbers are called counting numbers or natural numbers. It is represented by the symbol n. This is the number line for natural numbers. It starts from 1 and goes to infinity in one direction. In the collection of natural numbers, when we include 0, then it is called as whole numbers. Whole numbers, it is represented by the symbol W. This is the number line for whole numbers. It starts from 0 and goes to infinity in one direction. In the collection of whole numbers, when we include negative numbers as well, then it is called integers. So integers consist of 0, positive numbers and negative numbers. This is the number line for integers. It goes to infinity in both the directions. It is represented by the symbol Z. Why Z? Because it has come from the German word zählen. That means to count. Rational numbers. This is the number line for rational number. It consists of 0, positive numbers and negative numbers. It goes to infinity in both the directions. Then what is the difference between the number line for integers and that of a rational numbers? If I ask you, how many integers are there between 0 and 1 or between 0 and minus 1? You can clearly see that there are no integers between them. But in the case of rational number line, you can see between 0 and 1, I have marked 1 by 2. And between 0 and minus 1, I have marked minus 1 by 2. Does that mean there is only one rational number between 0 and 1 or between 0 and minus 1? I'll come back to this question later. But you can clearly see what is the difference between the number line of integers and that of a rational numbers. Rational numbers, it is represented by the symbol Q. Rational has come from the word ratio and Q has come from the word quotient. Let us quickly recall the definition of a rational number. A number R is called a rational number if it can be written in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. Why Q cannot be equal to 0? Because if you put Q equal to 0 here, then P by Q is not defined. All these numbers, natural numbers, whole numbers and integers are all rational numbers. Why? Because you can write all these numbers in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. Let us understand this with the help of one example. Let us take one integer, say minus 36. So I can rewrite this as minus 36 upon 1. So here your P is minus 36 and Q is 1. And you can clearly see here that denominator is not equal to 0. So I have rewritten minus 36 as minus 36 upon 1, which is P by Q form. So minus 36 is a rational number. Similarly, you can prove for natural numbers and whole numbers. Equivalent rational numbers. You can obtain equivalent rational numbers by multiplying or dividing both numerator and denominator by the same number except 0. For example, 1 by 2. If I multiply here both numerator and denominator by 2, then I get 2 by 4. If I multiply here both numerator and denominator by 10, then I get 10 by 20. If I multiply both numerator and denominator by 25, then I get 25 by 50. So all these numbers 2 by 4, 10 by 20 and 25 by 50 are all equivalent rational numbers for 1 by 2. If you are asked to represent equivalent rational numbers on number line, make sure that P and Q, they don't have any other common factor other than 1. That means P and Q are co-primes. So all these equivalent rational numbers and the number, they will represent the same point on the number line. Question, is 0 a rational number? Can you write it in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. So in the first part of the question, it is being asked, is 0 a rational number? For any given number to be a rational number, it should be represented in the form of P by Q, where P and Q are integers and Q is not equal to 0. So can we write 0 in the form of P by Q? Yes, you can write 0 as 0 by 1. So what is the value of P here? Here P is 0 and Q is 1. So 0 and 1 are integers here. So you can clearly see P and Q are integers, and here q is equal to 1. So here q is not equal to 0. So it fits into the definition of a rational number. You have represented 0 in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers. Here p is 0 and q is 1. And q is not equal to 0. So it satisfies the definition of a rational number. So it is 0 is a rational number. So you can write down, so 0 is a rational number. Second part of the question is already answered because you have written this 0 in the form of p by q, where p and q are integers and q is not equal to 0. Now let us take the second question. State whether the following statements are true or false. Give reasons for your answers. So here first part is every natural number is a whole number. The answer is true because whole number is a collection of all natural numbers and 0. So every natural number is a whole number. Answer is true. Second part, every integer is a whole number. Answer is false. All the negative integers are not whole numbers. For example, -2, -3 and so on. So every integer is a whole number. The answer is false. Every rational number is a whole number. If you say any negative rational number or any fraction, that is not a whole number. For example, -1 by 2, 4 by 6, all these are rational numbers, but it is not a whole number. So answer is false. Find 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2. So you have to find out 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2. For that, we are going to use arithmetic mean concept. What is arithmetic mean concept? Sum of all observation divided by total number of observation. So when you use this, you get exactly the number which lie between all the observations. So here we have got only 2 observations. So let us add these two numbers, 1 plus 2 and divided by 2. This is sum of observation divided by number of observation, which we have 2. So 2 plus 1 is 3, 3 by 2. So we got one number between 1 and 2, that is 3 by 2. So this 3 by 2 lie exactly between 1 and 2. What is the value of 3 by 2? 1.5. And you know that 1.5 lie exactly between 1 and 2. Now let us take 1 and 3 by 2. So 1 I can write it as 2 by 2 plus 3 by 2. I am going to find out the number which lie exactly between 1 and 3 by 2. So I'll add these two numbers and then I will divide it by 2. So here 5 by 2 divided by 2 gives you 5 by 4. So as of now you got two numbers between 1 and 2. One is 3 by 2 and other one is 5 by 4. So you got here 1, 5 by 4, 3 by 2 and 2. So you can see you have got two numbers now. Let us add these two numbers and divide it by 2. So we will get the number which lie exactly between these two numbers. So 5 by 4 I am going to write down as it is. 3 by 2 I am going to write it as 6 by 4 divided by 2. So what do you get here? 6 plus 5 is 11. 11 by 4 divided by 2 gives you 11 by 8. So you got three numbers between 1 and 2. That is 3 by 2, 5 by 4 and 11 by 8. So you got 1 here, 5 by 4. Between these two numbers we have got it 11 by 8. So I am writing it here. And then we have 3 by 2 and we have 2. Now let us take 1 and 5 by 4. Between these two numbers, let us find out the number which lie exactly between these two numbers. So here 1 I can write it as 4 by 4 and this other number is 5 by 4. So we are adding these two numbers divided by 2. So here what do you get? 9 by 4 divided by 2 gives you 9 by 8. So you got four numbers now. So you got here 1, then after that 9 by 8. This is the first number now. 5 by 4, 11 by 8 3 by 2 and 2. So you have got 4 numbers between 1 and 2. Now let us find out the number between 3 by 2 and 2. So 3 by 2 I am going to write down as it is, and 2 I will write down as 4 by 2. So this is 3 by 2 plus 4 by 2 divided by 2. So 3 plus 4 is 7. 7 by 2 divided by 2 gives you 7 by 4. So we have got 5 numbers between 1 and 2. Which are the 5 numbers? It is 9 by 8, 5 by 4, 11 by 8, 3 by 2 and 7 by 4. Like this, we can keep on finding out the numbers between two given rational numbers. So what we can conclude here, that there are infinite rational numbers between two rational numbers. Let us see one more method using which you will be able to find out the required number of rational numbers between two given rational numbers in one step. So here the required number is 5 rational numbers. You have to find out between 1 and 2. So how are we going to do it? So here it is 5. So you add 1 to that. So what do you get? 5 plus 1, 6. So this 6 we are going to multiply in numerator and denominator. So let us write down 1 as 1 by 1. So we will multiply here both in numerator and denominator by 6. So what do you get here? 6 by 6. So 1 is rewritten as 6 by 6. Similarly, 2, you can write it as 2 by 1. Here also we will multiply both numerator and denominator by 6. So what do you get here? In numerator you get 12, in denominator you get 6. So 2 you have rewritten as 12 by 6. So let us write down the 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2. What are those 5 rational numbers? Greater than 6 by 6 is we have 7 by 6, then we have 8 by 6, then we have 9 by 6, then 10 by 6, then 11 by 6. So these are the 5 rational numbers between 1 and 2. So you can see this method is quicker than the previous method, and it is easy and simple to solve. Now let us take one more question here. Find 3 rational numbers between 1 by 5 and 1 by 3. So here you can see the denominators are different. So first you need to make the denominators same. So 1 by 5, what is the LCM for 5 and 3? It is 50. So 1 by 5, I am going to multiply here both numerator and denominator by 3 because LCM is 50. So what do you get here? 3 by 50. And 1 by 3, I am going to multiply both numerator and denominator by 5 because LCM is 50. So what do you get here? 5 by 50. So you can write down only one rational number between 3 by 15 and 5 by 15, that is 4 by 15. But we want how many? 3 rational numbers. So I have told you, you have to find out 3 rational numbers. So you add plus 1 to that. So 3 plus 1, that is 4. So with this method, you can get the sufficient number of rational numbers between two given rational number in one step. So 3 by 15, I am going to multiply both numerator and denominator by 4. So what do you get here? 3 4s are 12, 15 4s are 60. Here 5 by 15, I am going to multiply both numerator and denominator by 4. So what do you get here? 20 by 60. So you have sufficient numbers in between. So what are the rational numbers? 3 rational numbers between 1 by 5 and 1 by 3. They are, you can write down any 3. So I am writing 13 by 60, 14 by 60 and 15 by 60. There are some extra rational numbers here, but you can leave it because it just says 3 rational numbers. So you can write down these 3 rational numbers.